talk about Black Conference.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, family,
What's
friends.
going on, family? How you doing?
Welcome.
How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Queen of Rap. That's right, the Queen of Rap. There is none higher. Come on
Give me
now.
some stones. I'll take them and make them brighter.
Go ahead now.
Y'all know?
Go
You sing
ahead.
that one?
Go ahead. She attempted.
The
She,
Up Your Road, right?
he attempted that. I think it was pretty good. Pretty good. All right.
Your
All,
L might differ with you.
all right, fam. You know how we gonna start this off. We're gonna go ahead and get our theme song on.
All right.
All right, all right, all right. That was made by yours truly. All right. Yeah. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for tuning in with the Queen of Rap. We appreciate you each and every time, whether it's now, whether it's in the future. We appreciate that you take your time to stop by and listen to what we have to say. We truly do appreciate it and we value your time. We got a very powerful topic for you today, keeping in line with the spirit of the Million Man March, keeping in line with the spirit of atoning and forgiveness. On the Queen of Rap, we're going to talk about copper. We're going to talk about why copper is king. We're going to talk about why copper is king, why we use copper, but we also going to talk about the stones of forgiveness. That's right, the stones of forgiveness. What are those crystals? What are those stones that we can use to help us in that forgiveness process? Okay, we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to even have a demonstration on how to make your copper beautiful once again.
That's
We're
right.
going to show you how to make that copper beautiful once again, because so many people, they talk about, well, you know, the copper turned green, it did this, it did that. But for the most part, all it takes is a little bit of time to actually clean it up, and you'll get it shining like new all over again. You'll get it shining like new all over again. So, brothers and sisters, we thank you once again for tuning in with us. And you know your beloved host, the Queen of Rap. If you don't,
That's right.
this is your beloved host, the Queen of Rap, Nafiza Ali. This is part of her healing work that she does. She designs holistic healing jewelry with your and my healing in mind.
That's right.
You know, so it is a very wonderful process. No, it's not mystical and magical. It don't happen overnight. But, brothers and sisters, we are receiving some great reviews on how these pieces are helping my beloved, helping the people that my beloved wife is actually wrapping them for. We received a review just, what was that, maybe 2 days ago, from, who was
One
that?
of my sisters. I don't like to put people's names out.
All right. Well, we received a review just a couple of days ago of a sister that received a obsidian bracelet from my beloved wife. And when she put it on, she said that she's just receiving all kind of wonderful experiences behind it. People opening up doors for her, being more kind to her, saying more kind stuff to her. I mean, that's some of the things we heard. We even have one of her customers who told us that she was looking for love, and my wife had made her a rose quartz piece, and she is engaged today. That's a true story. I mean, we can't make this stuff up. That's a true story, and not only engaged, and they also had a child. So that right there again, not trying to take any credit at all praise due to Allah, but we just saying these are some of the testimonies that are coming back from some of the pieces that my wife has designed for other people. She even designed a protective grid like piece for one of the daycares in Macon, Georgia. And she said that helped with keeping those people away. They didn't come around anymore. So we're not saying it is us. We know it is Almighty God Allah at all times, but we just wanted to share with you some of those testimonies that we are receiving, and we will bring you even more as time goes on. So, with that, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna move out the way, and my wife has a demonstration, and then we got a couple videos for you. So, we're here to talk about why? Why copper is king, and why my beautiful wife, the queen of rap, Nafisa, uses her copper. All right, so I'm going to turn these mics over, and here she is.
I got a mic. I got a mic. I got my mic. Sounds nice.
All
Hey,
right.
what up, fam? Assalamu alaikum. Praying everybody is doing awesome out there. I am doing awesome. We are doing awesome. We are grateful for this beautiful day. And of course, we're going to talk about this copper because copper, man, it is such a beautiful element that needs to be used. I'm going to read a little bit before I show you how to clean your copper because I had a couple of customers ask about cleaning copper, and I sent out a just a little note showing you and telling you how you can clean your copper. But let's find out first why copper is so important, and um, we're going to talk about having it in our bodies as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go with this first article. I probably won't read the entire article. Yes, sir.
I actually had a video that I found
On,
on copper and its properties, if you would like.
well, we'll read that too, but this one,
Okay.
it doesn't this one doesn't necessarily talk about copper being jewelry.
Right. No, it's
Okay.
not about that. It was just about the properties of copper. Go
Oh,
ahead.
but see how I got a partner over here? He working with me, right? That's a beautiful thing. I'm just going to give you some highlights on why we use copper in our everyday. Just to give you an overview.
Can I give a quick shout out, real quick?
Oh,
Shout out to Sister Brenda Collins.
okay.
She wants you to inbox her. Apparently she got some things she want to talk to the Queen of Rap
All
about.
right. Awesome.
So we wanted to give her a special shout out. We definitely will inbox you. We'll be trying to get to you after the show.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for tuning in. Didn't mean to disrupt my wife and her reading, but I wanted to acknowledge that.
All right. Well,
All
we want to
right.
acknowledge our guests. Definitely, Sister Brenda, I will DM you when we are done here. All right. So, copper is used a lot when you're dealing with electricity that comes into your home and plumbing, right? So, copper is it, and the reason that they use the copper is a conductor of electricity and allowing it to come into your home. Like we can't see electricity,
Come on now.
even the electricians, they still, it's a mystery to them about electricity, but they use the copper to conduct the heat and the electricity to allow it to come into your home. So because our bodies are electricity and it has heat, and it has copper in it as well, which is part of what allows our body to function the way that it does, because that electricity and that heat, it transfers throughout the body in order to be able to do that,
Come on now.
right?
Talk
So it's
about it.
going from the brain to the body to say, shake my hand, or to say these words. Electricity is a part of that process, and the copper and the crystals, and the elements within the body allows that to happen. So that's one of the best reasons that we should have copper on our body. Like so many minerals we're missing in our bodies, the doctor tell you you don't have enough magnesium, you don't have enough iron, you don't these are elements that are on that periodic table that we actually have in our bodies. So with that, let me read this. Copper is significant in improving public health. Its anti-pathogen properties help to guard against infection in the home, at work, and in hospitals. Copper tubing is widely used in plumbing because it can help preserve the purity of water, drinking water. Copper has, y'all bear with me, I got this word though, antimicrobial effects that can inhabit waterborne microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, algae, and infectious parasites in the drinking water supply. Surfaces made from copper and brass, such as doorknobs and tabletops, can also reduce the spread of disease carrying organisms. Microbial food poisoning can be reduced by using a copper surface when preparing food. Similarly, hospitals and clinics have reduced the incident transfers of microorganisms with copper based antibacterial paint on walls, and by installing copper or brass doorknobs and fitting fittings on doors. Copper is also used in the preparation of antibiotics to keep them pure. Why use copper? For that's for steals. I'm not quite sure what that is. So I read the first part and I agreed with it and I liked it. So we're gonna end it right there. You can do more research. Just type in why copper, and the fact that when they talk about antibacterial things like that, it's the copper actually pulls those kind of toxins out of the body.
That's right.
So if you got those kind of things going on in the body, when you wear copper and you pairing it with stones, you're getting the properties of the stone, which the stone itself has different medicinal properties in it as well. But that copper, that you wear on your body, is helping you as well. It's one of the reasons they say it helps to remove the pain of arthritis. That's one of the biggest ones that our ancestors taught us about copper, is that the copper helps to relieve the pain of arthritis, um, and joint pains within the body. So, for a lot of you all that know, I put on I don't know if you can see it from there, the chakra bracelet, right? And so, of course, my chakra bracelet is a forever bracelet. It has one piece of copper going through the entire piece. And that way, it's copper always on my body at some point. I actually made myself an anklet, still with the chakras and the copper running through the entire thing, and put it on my ankle because I told you I was having problems, excuse me, on the right side of my body. Now, does that mean that all the pain is gone out of my body because I got these two bracelets on? No. Is it helping? Yes. It does make a difference. I am not in the extreme pain that led me to not even be able to be on the show 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago or last week? That was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, fam. So, it because it's helping. to reduce the pain on that side of my body, I'm going to continue to wear my copper. And if you are dealing with those type of pain, sciatic nerve and things like that, the copper really does help. So that is a couple of reasons why you should wear copper. Any questions on that?
I just want to bear her a little witness with this video. It's only
Okay.
like 3 minutes
Yes, sir.
long. So I already had it pulled. Excuse me.
Copper, what a fascinating metal it is. Actually, its name comes from the ancient Greek term for cypress, cupros,
Hmm.
because for thousands of years, copper has been mined on that island. But when we say copper, most people think of good old copper penny. We don't use it in Canada anymore. And you know what? The latest version wasn't even fully copper. It was only a couple percent copper. The rest of it inside was zinc. Well, copper is a great conductor of electricity. That's why we use copper wiring. It's a great conductor of heat. That's why cooks love it. But
Excuse me.
what I want to talk about here today is copper dissolving in water. Well, copper doesn't dissolve in water in the sense that you don't get little bits of copper floating around in the water. But what can happen is that copper reacts with water to form soluble compounds.
Mm.
What I have here, for example, is copper carbonate. And you can see it's kind of a bluish compound. And this forms when copper comes into contact with carbonic acid. Well, there's always some carbonic acid present in water, so that anytime that you have contact between a copper vessel and water, you can have some copper going into solution. Why does that matter? Well, actually, doesn't matter a whole lot. We need copper for our health. Copper is part of many, many enzymes. We need very little though, but 1 milligram a day, and we get plenty of that from food because anything that grows in the ground will have a small amount of copper in it. In fact, in Ayurvedic medicine, they even recommend drinking from copper cups in order to enhance our copper intake for health.
Excuse
Now,
me.
curiously, there's also concern about too much copper being leached out from a copper cup. Those of you who are familiar with this rather fascinating beverage called the Moscow Mule may recently have heard about some concern. Moscow Mule is a concoction made with vodka, ginger beer, and lime juice, so it is somewhat acidic. And the worry is that when it's consumed from a copper mug, that's what it's supposed to be consumed from. I'm not sure why. Maybe because you also add ice to it and it's supposed to keep it cold longer. But the concern is that there is copper getting into our system, and that high doses copper can be toxic, which of course is true. The question is there really a high dose? I've looked into this, and the fact is that the solubility of copper is very, very low. Even when it stands in contact with water for 16 hours, you get a minimal amount. Yes, somewhat more if you put an acid into it, but even if you assume that there's 10 times more leaching with an acid, it's still a minimal amount. And of course, you don't store your Moscow Mule in that copper mug for 16 hours at a time. So I have absolutely no concern about drinking from a copper mug. I don't have a Moscow Mule here, too complicated to make. Mm. But water from it is fine. Anyone who should be concerned about this, well, there of course are copper vessels that are lined inside, either with tin or with paint or with iron. And then of course there would be no leaching of the copper. You might worry then about leaching of something else into the water. And finally, the supposed therapeutic effect of copper. You may have heard stories about how wearing a copper bracelet is beneficial if you have aches or pains. Why? Because it's according to the theory, tiny amounts of copper dissolve in the skin, get into the bloodstream, and kind of rejuvenate the enzymes that take care of pain. There is really no scientific validity to that. I think if anyone is feeling better because of that copper bracelet, I think they're just experiencing the placebo effect. That's an important effect, though, and we'll drink to that.
All right. Well, we thank him for his thoughts and opinions on that and the great facts that he brought to the table. But my ancestors said that copper worked for them.
That's
And,
right. Come
you
on
know,
now.
we have to, all information, take it and do our research on it,
That's right.
and even with the information that we're sharing with you, we suggest that you dig even deeper, with and get actual facts. So I guess, because our ancestors did it, it's just like, especially people in the Caribbean, they had to go to the bush, right? So it was no scientific fact about these bitters helping to improve the condition of the body, but we know for centuries that we've gone to the bush and used those elements, and our ancestors have always used copper, one form or another. Okay, so we thank him for that. And now I want to talk about the a little bit more detail about the copper in the body. Okay. So, copper is an essential nutrient for the body. Together with iron, it enables the body to form red blood cells. It helps maintain healthy bones, bone vessels, nerves, and immune function. And it contributes to iron absorption. Significant copper in the diet may help prevent cardiovascular disease and osteoporosis as well. And that right there, fam, is even more reason to have copper in your life, right? To have it, I have a copper cup that I drink out of occasionally. It's not an everyday thing, but I do drink out of the copper cup, and of course, I wear my copper. I'm always working with copper, um, and I mean, I've never gotten any lab work back saying I didn't have enough. But another thing that copper helps with is the prevention of gray hair. It's been said that the reason the hair turns gray is because there's not enough copper in the body. Um, and that's one of the reasons the hair goes gray. So, those are just a few things. Why copper? I love it. You know, um, I have not done research on sterling silver, but I know sterling silver can be used as a conductor of electricity as well as gold.
That's right.
It's like those got to be the top when it comes to conductors because of its ability to endure the heat.
Brenda said her grandparents used it.
See, and a lot of us, if we just go back a little bit and talk with our grandmothers and our grandfathers, they swear by that copper, and it has, it's been used. And I believe my ancestors, I believe them because why would they use it and it didn't work,
Right.
right? So it's like cod liver oil. Yeah, it was nasty,
Yeah,
but it kept us from
if
being
you,
sick all the time. I mean,
yeah, if you know about that cod liver oil,
or them
boy.
3 6s and all that other stuff. Um, so anyway, I absolutely love it. And so we're going to talk about the color of copper, right? So let's
Try to
start.
bring this in a little so you all can really see.
All right. So that right there is some shiny, brand new copper.
Right, that's
See that?
that haven't
Come up
oxidized.
and turn it like that so they can see on here.
Right, that
Okay.
haven't oxidized at all.
Right. So we're gonna let's put this next to it,
Okay,
and you can see
you hold that, I hold it.
the color difference.
Uh,
There you go. Let's see. You see that?
right
See,
now,
so
that's when
this
it's oxidated.
right, it has been oxidized over time, which means it has cleaned a whole lot of toxins out of the body. And it doesn't always mean that because some people actually dip it into a solution to give it this antique look, right? So I like it because it just looks so beautiful on my skin. It kind of blends in with the skin, so it's not like boom standing out, because of the color. It's just nice and subtle because it's a darker um, color. A dark it's a it's an antique,
Antiquated.
antiquated.
Hmm.
So here you will see that little piece is shining over there on you. I'm gonna come even closer. All right. So you see that one side that's shining. So copper can always get back its beautiful shine. It takes work. We have elements that's going to help us make it easier, but it does take work to make it happen. Can you give me another bowl? Because this is a lot.
That's okay.
I
That's
don't want
fine.
to dip it in all of this. Well, okay, it's a
All
big
right.
piece. So what I did to get this part shiny like that is good old Brillo pad, a copper Brillo pad, and a little elbow grease. Now this is an Egyptian wire wrap. If you all are not familiar with that style that I do, it's Egyptian wire wrap, and then my little funky fresh piece. Um,
So y'all can kind of see the style on it
might
right
pull
there.
up too so they can see my funky fresh. Can
There
y'all
you go.
see
Funky fresh, dressed to impress, ready
here?
to party.
No, keep it up. How's that? Is that better, fam? Can y'all
Yeah.
see it now? Yeah. So that's a one of a kind. Nobody has this particular one but me. That's me. But the Egyptian wire wrap, bring it down a little. You can see that that's one of the styles that I do. I do it in earrings and a bracelet, and it can be done as an anklet also, if that's something you desire. So what we're gonna do, like I said, little elbow grease, and you can shine this whole thing up. With the Egyptian wire wrap, because it is coral, you're gonna it's gonna get stuck in here because of course these are all bunch of different pieces. I didn't use this a lot to clean up my pieces. So, but if you want to take your time and go through each individual and do it, you can. However, we have a couple of other things. You can use ketchup and lemon juice because it's acidic. You can put it in there and it will remove the oxidation on your copper. After you do that and you cleanse it with water, for it to last longer, you still need to buff it. You still, it's like your sterling silver when it oxidizes, it turns black. Um, the way to do it is, you go through your process, but you need that buffing cloth in order to get it to be shiny again and to last a little bit longer before you have to do that process. So, ketchup and I mean, not apple cider vinegar, lemon juice.
You can use apple cider vinegar.
You don't have to. White vinegar works just fine, and of course, that's pennies compared to apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Apple cider vinegar is a lot
Excuse me.
more expensive. All right. All praises due to Allah. Sister Fatima, thank you for coming in, sis. I'm glad you made it. Um, so again, we're gonna clean this copper up, and you should be able to see it within the time period that we're on the show. What we're using today is some baking soda and some vinegar. Okay. So for those of us who try to clean naturally, we kind of combine these two to clean our house. It's really good for removing um, food off of the bottom of your pot. And, but you got to have that elbow grease, right? So I'm going to take this whole piece here, Egyptian wire wrap. This one is my personal piece that I've had for a nice long time. And I'm going to put it in the baking soda first. I'm going to cover it with the baking soda. The amount that you use is really up to you. Um, Today, I'm not going to get the toothbrush and scrub because time is not going to allot for me to do that. So I'm just covering it really good with the baking soda because I know the baking soda is going to react with the vinegar.
Let me show so y'all can see the pieces in there with the baking soda. All right.
All right. Yeah, and so my stone is down in here also. Most stones can handle it. There are some stones that you do not want to submerge in any kind of liquid.
Like
And
selenite.
selenite is definitely one because it's a salt. so it will, disintegrate. So you don't want to put that in there. Um, what's another one that might not work? What do you think about that desert rose?
It's
I've
like
never
a
tried
rock.
it.
I'm not sure
Um,
on that.
I have to show y'all my
But
desert rose. It's
we
beautiful.
we know for sure the selenite.
Right. All right. So now I've done that, and I think I have enough. Hopefully, it don't boil over on me because there's a lot of baking soda in here. I really didn't intend to put this much, but this is what we got. So we're gonna.
Just for a little.
Ooh, y'all hear that sizzle, sizzle?
No, they don't
They
hear it.
can't hear it. Okay, let's see if you can see it. All right, so we already getting our chemical reaction here, and that's pulling that all of that oxidation, and then of course we're gonna let it sit in here. And the white vinegar is really inexpensive, Sam. So don't be afraid to be generous. Baking soda is pretty inexpensive too. All right, so we're gonna let that sizzle over here for a little while, and I will turn it in there so that the front and the back of the necklace is actually getting. Thank you, sir. Actually getting all that it needs to be clean. So we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes. It is 3:31. I say we let it sit for about 15 minutes, okay? Because it had a lot of oxidation on it, and then we'll pull it
Yeah,
out and see what we're working with.
yeah. The vinegar does work. Yes, ma'am. The white vinegar and the baking soda actually helps to pull that oxidation off of there. Sister Brenda asked about that.
Yes.
Yeah, it actually does. She just poured the vinegar on the top of it, and then you kind of let it sit for a little while, not too long now.
Right.
Just
But
let
I
it
think
sit for a little while.
about 10 minutes. I mean, we've had, okay, like when I use ketchup.
Hmm.
I use ketchup usually on my copper rings. So if it's just all copper, and it's not a lot of basket weaving on it, a lot of weaving, then I'll use ketchup. They can hear me. It's right here. Can you all hear me? Okay. My husband likes me to have my mic. I use ketchup because it's easy for the to remove the ketchup or to clean the ketchup off of it. But when you're dealing with something that has intricate circles and weaving, that ketchup can get caught up in there. And so we all know over a period of time that ketchup is gonna mold. So I don't use it that often. On maybe like the big circle, I could use the ketchup on that because of course that'll rinse right off. But the Egyptian wire wrap, I wouldn't necessarily use ketchup on it because I mean you could do it. You just gotta spend some time with it and make sure you've cleaned every single one and removed all the ketchup. The lemon juice is good as well because it's acidic, and that's the reason the ketchup works because of the tomatoes being acidic and removing the oxidation on it. Lemon juice is expensive to me to be using on my jewelry, so I don't use lemon juice that often. I mean, if I do, I mean I didn't ran out of my vinegar, and I really want to get that piece cleaned up, but for the most part, I would the baking soda and the vinegar is my go-to when it comes to cleaning up my jewelry. After this has soaked for a while, a toothbrush would be really good to help it to clean it too. But you will see what it looks like when it comes out of here in a few minutes. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else have any comments
Anybody
or
got any questions? Just drop it in the chat. Any questions? Any comments or concerns? Um, we're gonna kind of move on. Let that do its thing. But in the spirit of the Million Man March, as you all know, we just passed the 25th anniversary of the Million Man March. If you didn't know, we did 1995. 2 million black men stood on the mall in Washington, D.C. They came there for atonement, reconciliation, and responsibility. 2 million men, 16 hours on the Monday, no
Yes.
work, no school, no play. It was the most fantastic march in the history of marching. And that is the truth. They try to write that out of history. They don't want you to know about it. It was called by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If you're a little younger and you don't know about that, you can definitely go ahead and Google that. You can even watch it in its entirety on YouTube. So, with that, one of the things that the minister gave to us to do was reconcile, atone, forgive one another, to bring about that healing. And so that's why this is a two-part subject today. So we talked about why copper, we're cleaning in and let you do that. But now we're going to kind of get into the stones of forgiveness because this is the queen of rap. So we want you all to know about different stones that you can use to help and enhance forgiveness. Different things that you can use to actually help enhance that forgiveness so that you can make it easier on yourself. Now, again, it's not mystical and magical with us. It's not spooky abracadabra, boom, that kind of thing. No. But these stones have been known to help people over a long period of time in that process of motivating them to forgive, to atone for the wrong that they had done. And so today we're just going to really listen about one of those stones. And
you know what I wanted to add to
go
that
ahead.
is self forgiveness is important. Okay, so these stones, as we talk about them, and there are many. We're just going to talk about one of them today. But it's about self forgiveness first. We have to forgive ourselves, and then we have to create an environment. So when we're talking about the stones and we're talking about the copper and we talk about navy beans and we talk about, see, we're creating an environment around our body that allows us to be in a space where we can heal, where we can be in a space with the God, because we're vibrating on a higher level. When we talk about energy and electricity, we're talking about vibrating on God's level.
That's right.
Right? Because now we're in tune to the energy. We're in tune to the electricity. We're in tune to that healing power and the forgiveness of ourselves that we can, man, let the spark in our mind create a new reality.
Go ahead.
You know? So we're going to go ahead and show the video that's going to talk a little bit more about one of the stones of forgiveness.
Let me just give a disclaimer here, okay? We try to look for our people about the majority of what we talk about. It's not about necessarily a race thing, but what is about, we want you to know that those in our community deal with it as well, so that it'll be more authentic, because we don't know all of who we talk to, but the majority of the people we deal with is our people. So with that, this video, is from a white lady. Okay, no problem, because she's talking about what we want to hear about, but we always try to find somebody that look like us to talk to us about what it is that we're discussing. And this one,
But truth kisses truth.
truth kisses truth, no matter what color you are.
Right.
But this one was a short video. I did find a sister, but hers was like a couple hours long. And I know we weren't going to be able to sit through that. So I pulled this one up. This was only about 3 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Obsidian. It's a classic crystal healing stone. It's very popular, very easy to get, and does many different things Today, we're going to focus on its ability and use as an amazing and epic tool to help with forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that we all have to learn. Now, there might be a few of you out there that do it with ease and don't have a problem with it, but for many of us, we are in a total journey to work on learning to forgive ourselves and to forgive other people, not to hold grudges, not to let go, to understand how to release something. And this is the stone to help you with forgiving. It really, really, really works to let you learn to let go and to understand is when you are holding on to past hurts, and they don't serve you anymore. You're actually hurting yourself more than you're hurting another person. If you're struggling with something that you've done in this lifetime or something that you've done in another lifetime, perhaps you're the one that needs to be forgiven. This is also a great stone to help you see the bigger picture, to help you understand your personal evolution, that you may get to a place to allow forgiveness into you. It's hard. It's a hard energy, needing to forgive, needing to let go, needing to move on. And when we're wounded, it can take a very long time. And you need to do that at your own pace and what works best for you. But eventually, you want to get to the place where you are able to let it go, both, like I said, with another person or with an experience or with yourself. And so, working with Obsidian really helps you not only to let it go, but to develop a higher perspective on the need for forgiveness and why it exists and what's behind forgiveness. It really helps you to elevate your thinking. And I think that in itself is very healing. So get a piece of obsidian, carry it in your pocket, sleep with it by your bed. You don't, it doesn't need to be huge. It can be tiny. You can wear it as jewelry, but it's very accessible. I particularly like black obsidian for this, although the other types of obsidian will work, but I think black is the most effective. So enjoy it and learn to let go and learn to forgive and learn to heal that heart and open yourself up. Because
well,
the more you can let go of that old energy that's not serving you, the more you can open up to loving, wonderful, and positive experiences. I'm Beth Ann
bubbled
Kennedy.
over.
Thank you so much. You can follow me at pinkhearthealing.com or on social media under Pink Heart Healing. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And thank you and have a wonderful day.
All
All
right,
right.
all right. So
Excellent.
you heard that. You heard that there. And what we did was we dropped a short video of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the chat talking about the 8 steps of atonement. So when you get an opportunity, if you need to copy that link, go ahead and copy that link so that you can actually watch that video, share it with your family. There's a lot of us that are hurting right now. We haven't forgiven ourselves for things. We haven't forgiven our mothers. We haven't forgiven our brothers, our sisters, our friends. We haven't forgiven those who hurt us. And like she said, we're carrying that energy around and it's ill affecting us and is not allowing us to move forward the way that we need to,
You
you
know,
know.
and when she talked about past traumas and pains, and I think she mentioned other lifetimes and things like that, we actually carry a lot of the pain from slavery.
That's right.
We're the first on the planet, so everything that the earth has gone through, it is in our DNA.
That's
So
right.
it's a lot in us from past experiences that we don't even know that we're carrying. But when our mothers carried us in the womb, what was going on in her mind, what was going on during the time. And I was born in 1968. During that time, the civil rights was real heavy, so it was a lot of black love, but then there was a lot of dogs being sicked on our people as well. And we were, sitting at countertops. So I got that rebellion in me, to rebel against that evil that has been bestowed upon us as a people, right? And then I also have that love because my auntie was real big on black power, and she educated my mom and made my mom to know what was going on in the community. So I know that all of that is part of me and what developed me to where I am today. But I have the pain of Dr. Martin Luther King being killed, right? Because he was killed in April I was born in February. So as my mother, not necessarily breastfeeding me, but loving me and nursing me, I felt her emotions,
Mhm.
and so those things go into us. So these are the things that we have to um, remove from our body so we can continue to elevate. The process of becoming a God is a process. That's why the God came in 1930, right? So it's been 90 years. You would think we should have it together. 90 years with this wisdom, supreme wisdom, and all this knowledge that we have and about self and our enemy, but yet we're still suffering because it is a process. We're better. Whether you believe it or not, understand it or not, everything that has happened, the Million Man March made us a better people, the civil rights movement, all of these things brought us to the day that we are, where we are the fighters. We are the Joshua generation. You
Mhm.
still on the planet, you part of that Joshua generation.
Queen.
So absolutely, we have some past trauma that we deal with. So we want to rid our bodies of that, and the way that we do it is create the environment so that the spirit of God can be with us, and that we can elevate and grow and continue to grow. And my part, my mission that Allah put on me is to bring the stones back to our awareness, because a lot of black people, we don't even understand or know anything about these natural stones that come from the earth, and
Mhm.
their ability to help us in our process. It's a reason that he gave it to me, so that I can be aware, so that I can be part of that healing. But he know I get so excited and I love what it is that I see that he created, and know that they have been in the earth receiving God's energy over years and time. I mean, it takes time to create an agate. It takes time to create a crystal. If you get an authentic crystal, those things take a lot of years in order to make. So just think about all that love that's been going into that stone for all of these years. Copper is not something quick that's made easy. Copper takes time in the earth as well.
Well, Sister Fatima was sharing about the PTSD, the post traumatic
Hmm.
slave syndrome, or
Right.
stress syndrome. And Sister Brenda was saying that yes, we have to forgive ourselves and forgive others, but we can't keep forgiving those who harm us over and
Oh,
over
I agree.
again. And that is about, if you watch that 8 steps of atonement, forgiveness is not about forgiving people that continue to harm you over and over again. Forgiveness is about those who have contrition, who make a sincere effort to not only say I'm sorry, but make real effort, real change,
Hmm.
and you can see and feel it. And that is what the 8 step process of atonement is all actually about.
Right.
It's not just a on top of the surface kind of, yes, I'm so sorry, and then you go back next week and do the same thing again.
Hmm.
No,
No,
it's
level
about,
seven says what?
right,
Level seven, or
records.
number seven, is when you actually do something to show that you're sorry for what it is that you did.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
Sister Brenda, I appreciate you bringing that up.
That's right.
Because our enemy has not apologized in a way. You had Bill Clinton or a few of them say I'm sorry, but until we get some land of our own,
Mm-hmm.
until we get what we need to sustain ourselves, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're not gonna forgive like that.
Right,
So you're right on it, sis.
right.
Absolutely right on it. So it has been a little over 15 minutes,
All right, she
and
gonna get ready to pull that piece out. And Sister Fatima, we thank you so much, and we loving what we do, and we're glad that our energy together is going really good.
we
We
feeding off of you all, and that's what
That's
I love
right.
about
That's right.
interaction.
That's right. That's that's
It's
what makes it better when you
yes,
all interact.
that's right.
I could talk all day long.
Yeah, we both
uh,
probably could.
You know.
you know, but we don't want to be just talking to ourselves. We want to make
Yeah.
sure we touching the people, and sharing something valuable, with you.
Right.
So, all right. Ooh, I think it might could go a little bit longer, but I just want to show you all the progress. so far, and hopefully you can see. Oh,
There
y'all
you
see
go.
some
You
of that
see that.
shine?
You see that. You
Oh
see how that
yeah.
shine that up now.
All right, so let
Now,
me pull it
we
up.
we had a little bit of an accident.
Oh, I blew it up, y'all.
The the vinegar and the baking soda interacted with each other and bubbled over in the bowl. So you got to be
Right.
careful. Then
Look.
you might want to do it in the sink just in case
That was
that
while y'all
does
was watching the
happen.
video. It was over here just, having that wonderful reaction. But what I did add was a little bit of sea salt.
Okay.
I forgot that that also becomes an adjective in the process um, as well. So, once you get it as clean as you can, I'm going to probably stick it in there for a few more minutes. But you got to make sure you rinse it really good, right? Make sure that you cleaning all of the rinsing, making sure all of the baking soda is off of here. And then once all of the baking soda is off, if you get that buffing cloth, like I said, I'm going to try to make those available for you all real
Gonna
soon.
find them soon.
Yeah, I'm going to get them so that, when you place your order with me, if you want to purchase one of those, you can do that as well. I mean, we got the cheap versions that we can give free, but really, you want something that's going to last you. And those may cost about $10 or something like that.
Now the young lady mentioned about obsidian, and my wife has some obsidian beads. So this can be a bracelet, it can be earrings, it can be a ring. We just want to show you that we do have that black obsidian available for you.
And I'm almost sure that I have a couple of rocks
Right.
also. So, if you wanted to, create something together with that, I really love it as a ring. Black ring, a black beaded ring goes with everything. You never have to take it off. You can always enjoy your copper, especially if you're dealing with what is it, carpal syndrome and pain in your arms and your wrists, from typing
Copper
too
tunnel.
long, right? Um,
And I don't mean to interrupt, but we just want to make known two things, two new products that we have available for you. And we call it, one is called the Queen of Rap One on One,
okay.
meaning where you can actually do a Zoom call with her and you all talk together and she builds your piece for you as you all are on that call. And that's something that is available to you so that you can have that special experience while she's actually working and creating that piece for
And you have a
you.
video of your own piece being
And you
made.
have a video. We'll send you the video
I
of
love
your
it.
piece being made as well. And also coming up, we're very excited about this coming up next month. For those of you all who would like to learn how to do wire wrap jewelry, she's going to be teaching wire wrap rings and wire wrap earrings coming up next month. So if you want to know more about that class, please inbox us about that class. If you got some creative children or people that want a new skill, then this will be the class for you. My wife has taught classes all the way in Belize, y'all.
That's right.
We had a whole family come in Belize to learn how to wire wrap with the Queen of Rap. I'm telling you the truth. That is a true story. We got the video around here somewhere. We're gonna
Have to
find that
play it.
video so
Yeah,
that
that
you
that was
all can
beautiful. We were
actually
like
see.
outside and being able to see the rainforest while we were working, so it was really fun. But with that, when you think about Kwanzaa
Hmm.
coming up, and Kwanzaa, one of the things that people do is they make their gifts,
That's right.
and
And
to be able to
Kaumba is
right, and,
creativity.
and to be able to make your gifts for your family with jewelry that you make,
Yes.
and so yeah, come on, let's get connected. Let's enjoy the class. We'll probably do it the second week of November.
Yeah, we're
If
gonna
that'll
put
be
a
good.
big flyer out. We're gonna put a big flyer out, but we giving you all here an exclusive today. We're giving you all here an
That's
exclusive
right.
today. Sister Fatima says, "Woo!
All
Look at
right.
that." That's what I'm talking about. That's right. We want people to be excited because this is not just learning how to do jewelry. This is really a divine gift that you're learning. She's not only going to teach you about how to wrap jewelry, she's going to teach you about the right spirit, the energy work that's involved. She's going to teach you about when you're turning that copper around, how your breathing techniques, all of those things.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot with it. So it's not going to just be jewelry design 101. Anybody can teach you that. But what she's doing is that she's inviting you on the journey to learn how to do your own holistic healing work
That's right.
as well. And that's what it is. Once you begin this journey, then that is your call to do things like this for people, and you can take it in any way that you want. You may end up doing the waist beads. You may end up just doing bracelets. You may do candles or stuff like that and put the wire wrap in there. It's up to you how creative and innovative you are, but she's inviting you on the journey to begin on that road of being a holistic healing jewelry designer.
That's right.
That's right.
And we
So
need more. We
we
need more
need more.
people in our community, especially. One of my, well, my experience, I've been doing this now for about 10 years, and I miss it. But we used to do farmers markets, flea markets, just being out in the community, different events. And, you know, the Caucasian people flock to my table to buy the pieces. And our people are hesitant because we don't have the knowledge. It seems foreign to us because it was taken away from us, right? If you do any history and you study the art of any country, you will always see natural stones as a part of it. You'll see the malachite, you'll see the hematite, you'll see rose
Carnelian.
quartz and carnelian and lapis and all these. You'll see it in the work. There were times that only kings and queens could wear carnelian.
That's right.
They only those that were considered special in the community. They had special jewelers to come and make their pieces
That's a
because
fact.
it wasn't anybody, Jacob the jeweler couldn't just make your stuff,
Come on now.
because that's common. You had someone special because of the energy, because all things are energy. So the energy of the person that creates your piece goes into that piece as well.
That's right.
Now you can cleanse your jewelry from negative energy. Some sunshine will burn anything up, and let you
You can
start from.
smudge and
You can smudge all of that, but
you can do a
putting it
lot of
out in the
different things.
in the sunlight really really helps. But my point is, this has been with us for a very long time, fam. But we have to do more educating, and that's why I do the Thursday with the Queen of Rap and educating us on the different stones and why we use them, and always talking about it's not mysticism, because I mean I've had people come to my table and say, pretty much we were worshiping the devil because we said these stones had energy and electricity and a certain level of power to them.
Now, for all of my Christians in the house, if you go into the if you go
Rocky.
into if you go into the Bible in the book of Exodus, or I believe it is where they are actually designing the breastplate of faith, and it is 12 stones, crystals. Sardonyx was one. Um, uh, Garnet was another. It was 12 different crystals that God gave the rabbis the instruction to put on the breastplate
Mm-hmm.
faith, and they wore those. So
Right.
if you are a Christian and you're wondering about devil worship and all of those things, it's right there in the very Bible and in more than one place where God is talking about these crystals, these stones. He's talking about that right there. So
Right.
this is not us trying to get you involved in any devil worship. This is not us trying to get you involved with taking you away from Islam. And if you're Muslim, you know that they say that the Kaaba is actually a meteorite. It is actually made from a meteorite. As they kind of tested it, they said that it's actually made from a meteorite.
And the minister talked about the green crystal
Uh
that's
oh.
underneath it.
And it was in it talking about when we in our lessons when it talked about and we discovered the planet, that part in Superman, for all my Superman fans, that when he found that green crystal, that was the actual thing. And what we taught in the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that green crystal was actually shot out to discover the rich part of the earth, which was in Egypt or the rich Nile River Valley, once the moon had been blown out from the earth. Now, if you don't know about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you can get that teaching right inside of your message to the black man, which I think every black person in America and the world should have that book, Message to the Black Man. If you don't, you can pick it up at store.finalcall.com, or you can pick it up at messagetotheblackman.com.
That's
So
right.
those are two places that you can pick it up. All
Right.
right.
So we're going to go ahead and start closing out um, our talk today. I pray that you all did learn something and got something out of what we shared. I know I did. I really appreciate, you all's comments. Sister Brenda, I already got you in my mind. So when we're done, we can have a conversation.
And
Um,
Sister Fatima, if you would just hit us in the inbox, we'll tell you more about that jewelry class. And also, for those that are on here with us, we want to give you all some exclusives. My wife designed some pieces, and we want to give you all a first look before we put it up on our online store. So if you're looking for that special gift, you're looking for a special piece, if you got a stone that you've been thinking about, you want turned into some jewelry or something like that, then we're going to give you an exclusive look at some of these pieces that my wife has done and make them available to you first. So that is one of the gifts that you get for being a participant in today's talk.
yes, and Sister Fatima, we actually played a clip of Mother Tynetta talking about the crystals and the energy as well. And believe it or not, in How to Eat to Live, chapter 19,
19.
paragraph 9, and the ninth word,
Come on now.
the messenger actually talks about the stones being a part of our body,
Yes.
what our body is made up of. So it is absolutely in the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that's why it just resonates with me so much. And my mother, Tanetta, beautiful person. And she talks about the crystals a lot. She even had the magazine. Um, what was it called? Crystal, the magazine, Mother Tynetta's sister.
Crystal Links. It
Right,
was called
Crystal Links.
Crystal Links.
Crystal Links, and those are still out there somewhere. Um, but definitely, her articles have been in the Final Call newspaper. So
That's right.
the point is, fam, we have it available for you, and it truly is my honor whenever I'm able to create a piece for someone, or someone purchase my pieces and then call me back or let me know when I see them the next time. Oh, says this happened, this worked for me. I really feel the energy on the pieces that you create, or just I love it. That kind of stuff works for me too. I also do it in sterling silver. So if you are not
If you don't like copper,
Right.
then we got sterling silver. And I just want to give a quick story, and we're gonna shut it down.
Okay.
We used to do something in Atlanta called the big psychic fair. And my wife would, after we were set up, she would actually do the jewelry, and we had a crystal that we would sit on the table, and we would sit that piece on the crystal. And so now, mind you, we're upstairs in the attic. We're upstairs in the attic, vending, and the people are downstairs getting their treatments. People would come. God is my witness. People would come from downstairs, and they would come upstairs. They would walk past everybody's table, grab the piece that my wife had designed, put it on, and ask how much,
And wouldn't leave
and
without it.
wouldn't leave without it. I
Wouldn't leave
mean,
without
I'm
it.
talking about 5, 10 minutes after. So
That's true.
I'm just saying to you that a lot of times we don't know why, but crystals can call you.
That's right.
Crystals can
But
call
you
you,
know, a
and
lot of
they're
people
part
know.
of us.
A lot of people know when it's like you got these crystals. Oh, how did you get them? That one, it just called you. It's just that's the one for me.
Right,
And it does. So, not always. Sometimes we have to because if we're not sensitive to the crystals,
right.
you're new to the crystals, it may not call you like that. So sometimes you just kind of, what I do is just kind of feel your spirit, right? And talk with you a little bit, get to know you a little bit, and then Allah guides me, to what crystal, what stone it is that you need in your life. And sometimes it's a combination, sometimes it's one. That's one of the reasons the forever bracelets came into play. I'll let y'all see that a little bit closer. This one is with the chakras, and then just some crystals on the end. I do it with the lava beads on the end now. I prefer the lava beads because you can scent them, and it can be some
Right.
aromatherapy
Do some aromatherapy
for you.
along with it. So, fam, that's gonna be the end of the show for today. We thank you so much for tuning in,
Yes, thank you
sister.
all.
Sister Brenda, my wife, will be in contact with you in just a bit. Sister Fatima, we are so honored that you would allow her to do that and serve you in that way. She's gonna some pieces gonna be created for her. So we thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
And remember this. Remember the spirit of the Million Man March. If you do not have a subscription to the Final Call, we ask that you get one. If you don't know any Muslims, we ask that you get the digital copy. I can get you that digital copy every week, delivered right to your phone, your tablet. You can just inbox us about that. Or if you just want to buy it straight out, you can do that at finalcalldigital.com. Finalcalldigital.com. We should definitely have our subscription to the Final Call. The Final Call is the baddest, boldest, coldest
Mm,
black owned newspaper on the planet.
that's right.
You heard what I said, and it can absolutely save and transform your life. I know that because it saved and transformed mine almost 30 something years ago now. All praises due to Allah.
Absolutely.
And
That's
if
right.
you are in the Tucson area, I will be glad to get you your Final Call every week, physical copy. If not, if you just like the digital, then I can also make that available for you as well. All right, family. What?
I got it. Y'all like my scarf? It's like a tam. Yeah, okay. So for those of us who have big hair, this really works. Even she makes them smaller too, but it's like a tam, and then it has strings on the end, so you can pull it to make it nice and tight and fit really good across the face. For me, the headpiece always slides off, so I wear my headpiece, but I'm constantly pulling it down. And for all, those of us who want to cover, this is really good. My sister Charlene out of Moss 93 actually creates them. It's reversible. It's purple on this side and then black on the other. And of course, I had my purple on, so I had to have my purple, right? But anyway, we
And I
like to
got mine on,
support.
too.
We like to support other people that are in business as well. So if you're in business, you're serving the Black community to improve our condition, improve your condition, then let us know, and we can support you, and you can support us, because it's all about family. Y'all know, y'all my family. I love y'all.
We want to invite some business owners to an opportunity. We're going to have at least two of these before we start getting into the Kwanzaa period. And it's going to be called the Shop Blacktastic event. We're gonna have vendors from all over. So if you want to be one of those vendors, definitely let us know that you want to be one of those vendors, because the way we're going to do it all live online, so you can bring your goods, and we'll make sure that we doing it so we can share our screens and all of that, so that we actually have an opportunity to show our wares. And of course, we want to shop blacktastic, meaning not only are we bringing you goods, but they're good products.
Right.
Blacktastic, shop Blacktastic. So we're gonna get that going starting next month, rolling on into December and through on.
A
So
face mask comes with this too,
that's right.
and it's reversible. So yeah, you can be hooked up. It looks really cute.
We love you too, Sister Brenda. We
All
love you
right.
too.
Love you, Queen.
And with that said,
Let's
brothers and
close,
sisters,
because
we're
we'll be
going to
talking
close
forever.
out. And just know that God loves you most of all. And we love you too. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about that, like our brother Jake always says. And remember, fam, to continue to let the spark in your mind create a new reality. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum,
Shalom.
fam. Love you all.
Hotep. Peace.